All right, there we go. Thursday night, virtually Friday, basically the weekend. Do have to go to work tomorrow from home. So I pissed about doing some things at the last minute, and I haven't done the usual adjustments I like to do to the webcam. So I'm going to do them live. Was that Bill? What's his name? Who got fired from Fox News? Bill O'Reilly. Fuck it, we'll do it live. So first, change the white balance so I have slightly more flesh tone. Change the saturation so I have just a teeny bit more color. That's probably right. Now I'll just fudge with the focus as well. I like to put myself out of focus and then in focus. And then I think we're done. Hello, Megaleech. Hello, Celtic King. And hello, nobody. Greetings, one and all. So, done and done. Starting the evening with an old-fashioned made with one of my limited editions, my Starward Mesquite Smoked. What do you call it? Whiskey. That's what it is. It's whiskey. Which means it's got flavors like, American smoked barbecue. Oh, fuck, that's good. It's a slightly strong whiskey too. And I put my chai syrup that I made recently in. Orange peel, a cherry, and all is good. I have not heard from Aidsy for a little while. I should try to remember to message him tomorrow. We might hear from him tonight. You can never tell with Aidsy. He's a barrel of surprises. And hello, Annette. How you doing? I just feel compelled to check. Hang on. It says on a little simple label. Shit, it's actually 55%. It's actually 55% alcohol. So 110 proof, as the saying goes. Yeah, Safa, that works often. Saying Aidsy's name 3 times, much like Candyman or Bloody Mary, often makes Aidsy appear. Even more terrifying than the Candyman or Bloody Mary. But ooh, that's some flavors in that. I think I want to have that chai syrup with some rums, maybe. In fact, I have had it with rum, and it's good. But yes, I'm going to make some cocktail videos tomorrow night. I think I'll just drink a cup. I was thinking of doing a video tonight, but I'm already actually way ahead with making videos. I've not only, all this week's have been up since the weekend. They're just scheduled to go live. Last one scheduled to go live tomorrow. I've already got 2 videos live. Scheduled. They're uploaded and ready and scheduled on YouTube to go live next week. We'll do one more, which will be another Mr. Black cocktail competition video. And then I'll be getting even further ahead. I'm thinking of making a Halloween cocktail tomorrow night. Yeah. Oh, and I think I'll make one with my sour apple liqueur tomorrow. I need to taste test it. Maybe I need to put some citric acid in it to make it a bit more tart. I have citric acid here in the kitchen. Speaking of terrifying, scrolled up Facebook convo today when we're chatting. I saw the face swap me and Hainsey. Okay, well, now that's been mentioned, I'm probably going to have to share it. I need a cloth. My hand was sticky. I think now I've got sticky things everywhere from the syrup that I poured on here. Let me. Now, what the hell is that? Okay, that is Facebook being fucking weird. Okay. And now it's loading something, and this is taking a while. No, fuck off, Facebook. Seriously. Oh, people I might want to follow. Dave Hughes, get fucked. Jimmy Barnes, well, I don't hate Jimmy Barnes, but no. Hamish and Andy, fuck off. Oh, Hilltop Hoods. Yeah, that's someone I actually like. Anyway, I was looking up a conversation with Megaleech. Why is Facebook being so fucking weird? Okay, Facebook's just being a fuckhead. Why are you doing this to me, Facebook? I just want to see the messenger messages and you're not showing them to me. Fuck's sake. Absolute fuck's sake. What the fuck, Facebook? Why the fuck are you... Oh, wait. Fucking changed profiles. Why the fuck did you do that, Facebook? Fucking Zuckerberg? What's your fucking story, mate? Jesus Christ. Oh, okay. Oh, it's tiny. I can increase the zoom on my screen. Okay. So, Megaleech posted it. So, if I share my screen, Chrome tab to Facebook, this is a face swap Megaleech did of me and Aidsy. And it is a bit worrying, quite honestly. Safa, is the new New South Wales Premier scary? The new New South Wales Premier is a piece of fucking shit. Trump-loving, science-denying, homophobic, misogynist fuckhead. He is just shit. All right, I need to get a cloth because I should leave that up because I'm going to disappear for a second. Just for a second. Because my hand is sticky from cocktail syrup. I'm just going to get a wet cloth. Who knows, I may end up regretting this, but you shall see. Need to wipe down my... I hope nothing goes astray while I do this. I've got to wipe down the mouse because it got sticky stuff on it. All right. Put this back. And dry your eyes, mate. All right. Let's see. Did I bugger anything up while I was gone? No, I don't think I did. So we'll just stop. There we go. Back. We all agree it's weird. Nettie, I did see the Save Australia protesters in New York. Right-wing fuckwits around the world, for some reason, for some reason, a couple of weeks, a month or two ago, they latched onto Australia and the restrictions here as a nightmare scenario, and they've been telling lies about it ever since. Like they're super fucked. Everyone thinks I should use that as a thumbnail for tomorrow night's stream. Maybe. Who can tell? Anything could happen between now and tomorrow. Anything when in doubt, blame Murdoch. Well, this mob started with Murdoch Media poisoning their brains, but they've reached an advanced stage of brainworm infection, and Fox News doesn't lie enough for them anymore, because there are other very small outlets in the US that tell even more extreme lies, and I mean actually much more extreme lies than Murdoch outlets. Nettie, what am I drinking? I started the night with an old-fashioned made from my limited edition Starwood whiskey I have, mesquite smoked. It's higher proof. It's 55% alcohol as opposed to the usual 40%. The mesquite smoke, so it's a flavor kind of like American smoked barbecue meats. It's that, because mesquite is often used for smoking barbecue meats. It's a very aromatic wood, so when you burn it, the smoke imparts a lot of flavor. So yeah, it's a smoky Australian whiskey. It's not like the peated Scotch whiskies. They have that smoky characteristic. It's a different sort of smoke. Mesquite is quite a different sort of smoke to peat. And I used my chai syrup that I made, which I thoroughly recommend. It's pretty straightforward. It was not even fancy chai. It was a tea bag. Mrs. Angry has a few different sorts of chai over there. It was just a tea bag. I made a strong cup of chai. Then I got 100 mils of that and added 150 grams of raw sugar to it, stirred it till it dissolved. And so I got this rich sort of spicy, not in a hot, spicy way, just in exotic spice ways. So it's a chai flavored rich syrup, and it's really nice. In fact, you could probably, I was even thinking, if you liked sugar in your tea, just normal tea, like black tea, a spoon of this chai syrup would really liven up a cup of tea, actually. It is a good point, nobody. You probably need to remember, Celtic, that not everyone thinks the worship thing is desirable. So, she's going to kick back and take it easy tonight. Man, that's just a... This feels like a grown-up drink. A smoky whiskey with a chai syrup in it. It feels very, very grown up. It's not something a teenager's going to drink. And also just sipping it. It's like mindful drinking and enjoying the flavors in each sip, as opposed to just going. Not to say I've never gone out and done shots, because I have. I can probably say it's very unlikely I will again. Celtic, I have to be honest, I kind of ignore the references to worship. I get that it's meant in a positive way. And this is just me. This is not you. This is just me. I have seen far too many people over the years on YouTube do weird culty exploitative shit. So it has some quite negative connotations to me. And also with being non-religious anyway. And I get that it's done lighthearted in the spirit of positivity, so I don't get angry about it. But I'll be honest, I basically ignore it when you say it. So, but you do you within bounds, so long as you listen. If anyone says don't do that, so we shall continue on our merry way. Now, I know there's the question before the parrot head, the New South Wales Premier, is he bad? Yes, he's bad. Funds, Jesus ain't God. Oh, a fucking heretic, eh? If I'm going to get religion, it's going to be Catholic. Everything else is just a weird cult that spun off Catholicism. 10 years of Catholic education. I remember all the things. Yes. So, yes, that parrot head has already said, I'm ignoring. He point blank lied and said the changes he made to opening up New South Wales were in line with health advice. It's just such an obvious lie. And he has set stuff up to be somewhat of a catastrophe in New South Wales. We shall see. And hello, Justin, by the way. Okay, so Celtic, I hope you take on board what Annette has said and tone it down, because you don't want me reminding you of what you shouldn't be doing. Because my reminders tend to be somewhat unsubtle. Justin, I bet you're glad you live in the ACT and not New South Wales. The best thing I can say about Parrot Head is he's likely to be so fucked he gives the ALP a solid chance of winning the next state election, but that's not for 18 months. But there was, as I said, there was the rumor additional LNP politicians were going to resign soon, and there could be a quite significant number of by-elections before the end of the year, and enough to really threaten the LNP's hold on government. Hello, Wrestling Days. Big Pat, how's it going? And hello, Chris. Music Elevator, say hello to you. Yes, Melbourne, 1,600 cases a day, which is all fucking New South Wales funds. Go Biden. I know time doesn't mean anything anymore, but you seem to be in a bit of a time warp there, funds. The whole Biden thing, he won. He got elected. Safa, what are the chances of Gladys coming back before the next election? I would say 0. Because, see, here's the thing. If I wasn't guilty of corruption, and this is just me, okay? This might be crazy talk, but if I was definitely not guilty of corruption, when an investigative body said, we need to investigate what happened there, I would go, do it. I will be completely exonerated because I know I haven't done anything wrong. So do the investigation and I will continue with my job in the meantime. Now, on the other hand, if I was guilty of corruption and there was a clause in my employment that said, if you're found guilty of corruption while you're still serving, you lose all your benefits and pension, I might resign. I might resign in a really cynical move to claim all my benefits, all my pension, with the full knowledge that I had committed acts of corruption, and an investigation was likely to uncover them. That's me. I can't speak for what's going on in Berejiklian's mind. I don't know. Big Pat, how am I? I am fine. How are you? Safa, is Dan guilty of corruption? No, that stupid article that got run in the media about an investigation was not about corruption in the terms that Berejiklian had. It was in question of, was there undue influence placed on some union negotiations, which deserves to be investigated. As simple as that. But yes, pairing that old news about an investigation that was categorically not about Andrews being corrupt. It was just a question of, was there undue political pressure during those negotiations? And if an investigative body thinks it's worth investigating, they should investigate it. And you may be right about some of his ministers, honestly. Haven't looked that closely, but politics is a dirty game. It's a very dirty game. They're all very, very dirty and not to be trusted. So, yeah. Just can't remember what I was looking at with some drinkies. I was looking at a bunch of drinks today. I've been saving things. Wait, really? Oh man, are these two different accounts? Because I saved a fuck ton today. God damn it. Annoyed. All right. This is me looking at something and being annoyed. I'm going to have to look into that. I must have two different accounts on there. Stuff for the Sammy J thing. Yeah, I mean, I think Sammy J is pretty funny. I just so you saw me that link. That, Victoria thing he does is sort of the same old joke each time. That's okay. Just what are the bets be more screaming at National Cabinet with the new New South Wales Premier? I think you might be right. Celtic King, politics is fucked. I did momentarily think of starting the cocktail party, but then I realized how hard that would be, and I didn't want to do it. Get a seat in the Senate, because anyone can get a seat in the goddamn Senate. And lobby for better treatment of Australian distillers. Also, advance my radical left agenda. But I looked into it, and it's a real pain in the ass, so I don't want to do it. Then he likes when I say dirty. It's a dirty business. You didn't want to go there. They're all dirty. They're corrupt. All right. So, Pat, is my cat good today? My cat's pretty good. Right. And the reason I'm looking at this site is because I got very annoyed with myself that in previous, because we're coming up to Halloween and I'm thinking, ooh, what neat Halloween drink can I make? Because to me, Halloween drinks are one of two things. It's either the name of it is spooky, like a zombie, or it looks Halloweeny, like it's blood red or something. And I remember just flicking through this website and seeing some very blood red cocktails that I thought were pretty cool. And I didn't make any notes. I didn't bookmark them, and I can't fucking find them, and I don't remember. And I'm very annoyed with myself. Very, very annoyed with myself. So it's a thing that happens sometimes. Basically. So it's I feel like if I saw the cocktail again, I'd remember it. I'd go, oh, that was the one. That was it. Maybe it was under Montenegro. It's under Montenegro. A Bubo. That is a great name for a cocktail. Bubo. Fun to say. Bubo. A Lost Plane. I want to make that one. Dark rum, Italian red aperitivo, Mare Montenegro, and lemon juice. Mount Rushmore, Reno, Malaguena. Another dark rum, Amaro Montenegro, agave. The Queen's Steeple. Sometimes I just like the name of cocktails. Now, do you have a Scottish night? How do we have a Scottish night where we all try and speaking Scottish accents? Just of the dual citizenship saga. You remember was that when we found out a whole bunch of politicians had technically breached the constitutional rules about dual citizenship? That was pretty funny. Speaking brogue, drink scotch, wear kilts. I think at the moment I don't have any scotch, not even a blended scotch. I have a lot of other whiskies, mostly Australian, some American, and one Irish. Sounds like a fun time, though. Yes, Big Pat, it was Damie Lou's birthday, I saw. Wished her a happy birthday on the Facebook with some old pictures of hanging out with Damie Lou and her purple hair. She's a fun purple-haired individual. Celtic, how many cats do we have? 2. Mimsy, who's old and getting very skinny, which speaks to ill health, and she is likely not going to be with us for much longer. And Shadow, who's about 5 years younger than Mimsy. Justin, is there anyone in my family a dual citizen? Mrs. Angry was born in England, and I don't know currently if she's a dual citizen. Could well be. I haven't looked into it. I haven't asked her. I mean, probably. Celtic King, you and Toby want to buy a kilt. Yeah, well, I've got 2 now. I'll have to wear the kilt another night. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow night. Could happen. It could happen. My new hybrid kilt. Half utility kilt, half tartan. It's a pretty good look. I like it. Raiders, good evening to you, sir. Where are we? 8:30. I feel like I should mix a drink. What do I want to mix, though? You know what? I'm going to have a cheeky... Wait a sec. I'm going to have some water. I'm going to just have a little drink of water. Also, and that would rinse this glass here. Then I might have a cheeky drink of the bottled cocktail I made a little earlier this evening, because it's my favourite cocktail, the Woodson and Ford. and I made it with a new blend, and I'm actually quite keen to see how that turned out. Justin, very easy to be a dual citizen and not know. Yes, just ask a bunch of federal parliamentarians. Celtic King, what do I think of dual citizenship? I think nation states are inherently a bad thing, and obsessing about stuff like that and pretending people are loyal or not loyal based on where they were born is fucking stupid. Hello, Abigail, from your very comfortable queen-sized bed. Nice. Abigail's actually asleep, but her avatar has come to say hello, which is very nice. Very nice of your avatar. Justin, you're right. If Mrs. Angry hasn't done anything to explicitly renounce, chances are she's a citizen. That's true. Chances are. Yes. But I and both my parents and grandparents, and I don't know how many generations back, were born in Australia. So it's quite a few generations back before anyone in my family was not born in Australia. Now, do you love kilts? I like kilts. It's funny, with my two kilts, they're very different sizes. The original one, when I was much bigger, is hugely oversized now, so I have to wear it with a belt and double it over and tie a belt around to keep it in place. And the new one I got, so it's actually not. It's actually explicitly not Abigail. She said she'd missed the stream, but she's hella tired. Well, I am absolutely glad that you are looking after Abigail and that she's getting some sleep because she's hella tired. That's important. Celtic King, you mean genealogy on my family tree? I don't have to because Mrs. Angry did it, in fact, because she was really into it. Did her family tree and went back as far as she could, and then did mine. And she discovered a few things that I didn't know about my family tree. So there you go. Eddie, what is Glen Kimchi Scotch like? Good question. I am not a Scotch aficionado. What does the internet Glen Kimchi whiskey? So Dan's does a 12-year-old for $99. Oofed. So they're pretty serious. $99 at Dan's. Ooh, although you can get it online for $15 off. Wow. If you were up for it, that's okay. See, that's the sort of thing that could almost convince me to get it. $15 off. 12-year-old single malt from the popular lowland region of Scotland. Sweeter style of Scotch. Glen Kimchi is bright gold in colour, very approachable. Nose carries aromas of vanilla, citrus, wildflower, and is reflected on the palate, supported by a surprisingly creamy texture. 40 what percent? The fuck is with this fucking website? Jesus. 43%. 12-year-old single malt. Well, on the surface, that sounds like a pretty good Scotch. Celtic King, all those DNA things are fucking bullshit. That's it. All right, I think I've got that back to thing. Crazy atheist, you're into single malt, never go for blended. Blends have their own charm, and distillers with good sort of master distillers and blenders can come up with some very good blends. Do we talk about much but booze? We tend to talk about a lot, often politics, uh, uh, sometimes just pop culture and media. You just happen to have got us talking about booze. I mean, I drink a lot of booze, he said with an empty glass. Oh no. And the last thing that was in it was water. That just won't do. Right. I have a cheeky drop of this. And that's also true. We do talk about Star Trek quite often. I think it would come under when I said pop culture. You see why she likes it. Yes. Pop culture, politics, booze, and Star Trek. And often social issues. We cover the spectrum. Often refer to the crew as the divergent bunch because there's a lot of divergence in various ways, whether it's neurodivergence, gender, sexuality, all those things. We're very open and accepting. And Hellion, hello, Kirsten. Nettie, you're saying, with Ancestry, was that just looking up? Because I think that's what Mrs. Angry used too, Ancestry.com. Didn't do the DNA thing, just looked up the genealogy. Bottled cocktail. Oh, God, that's good. Like my favorite cocktail at the moment is called the Woodson and Ford. Rum, apple brandy or apple liqueur, sweet vermouth, and a little bit of Benedictine. And this is a blend. It's got 4 different rums and 3 different apple brandies or liqueurs, and 1 sort of sweet vermouth and 1 sort of Benedictine. So yeah. Nat, you've done your DNA with Ancestry and uploaded to MyHeritage. Okay, cool. Justin, you did 23andMe, told you how white you are. Oh, dude, I am so fucking white. The most exotic thing in me is Viking, and that's from my ancestors in northern Scotland who were pillaged and maybe even peacefully settled by Vikings at various points. Oh, man, that is good. All right, putting it back in the fridge. Just having a little taste. Actually, maybe I should make something with my sour apple liqueur. Should taste test it, actually. It might need some citric acid, make it a bit more tart. The Angry Offspring bought citric acid for cooking. They're always creating various things. There are so many spices and flavors and stuff up there. So many. And there is some citric acid. So you taste my sour apple liqueur. And if it's not sour enough, I could add some citric acid. Make it more sour. Speaking of which, what do people recommend you do with sour apple? See if I can find something. Liqueur. No, apple schnapps. P. Where in my alphabet? S. Southern sour apple liqueur. There we go. What recipes? 24 recipes. Apple Black Royale. Apple and blackberry fruit liqueurs with Calvados. Oof, that could be it. I should do an apple teeny because I've actually got, this is my apple flavored vodka as well. But I want to do that for my cocktail channel. Oh, fuck off, Difford's Guide, seriously. Apple blackberry spritz. A Kurdish cocktail. Oh, with lemon curd. My goodness. I actually saw lemon curd in the supermarket today and thought I could use it in a cocktail. Oh no, Nettie, out of amaretto. Trip to the shop. So nobody, when we talk about whiteness, keep expecting Troll to enter wine about how we're made to feel ashamed of being white. Oh, those people are fucking sad. Celtic, you heading off. See you later. Oh, dear. Sorry. I just saw, what is my freaking mouse doing? Justin saying you have some Native American in you. That just reminds me of just an awful line I've heard used a lot. A person of a particular ethnicity, and this would have to be a person with a penis, really. Going to someone they want to pick up, and let's say they're Spanish, and or they're of Spanish heritage. And they go up to the person they got their eye and go, "You're very beautiful. Do you have any Spanish in you?" And the person says, "No." They go, "Would you like some Spanish in you?" It's a terrible line. Most pickup lines are terrible. That's particularly terrible. I don't know if anyone's ever had a pickup line used on them that worked. But yes, it's very dodgy territory. Pickup lines are very dodgy territory. What's in an apple black royale? Creme de mer, sour apple, and Calvados top with rosé champagne. That's a shit idea. What they say is an apple teeny, vodka, sour apple, lime juice, and sugar syrup. Definitely gonna make that for my cocktail channel with my stuff. A Zhivago. Ooh, this one's with bourbon. I don't know. I could be convinced on that. Fuck off, vodka. Half a shot of bourbon. God, 1.5 shots of vanilla and a half shot of bourbon. What a shit drink. Sorry, anytime it's vodka, I'm just the snob in me comes out. Vodka, fuck off. Bourbon. But what was the the B&B, the base of the Snosbury Fizz, a Blackthorn or slow gin with whiskey and sour apple and lime juice. Man, there's a lot of fucking lime juice and some sugar syrup. I could do my apple syrup in that. Well, I'm tempted to make that one. Hello, Robot Man Greg. Kirsten, what about using rose cider? I have multiple times with drinks that say, top with Prosecco or champagne or sparkling wine. I've used sparkling cider. because I don't like wine. Nobody's selling your possessions, not making huge money, but getting some cash, getting rid of stuff. Double win. If it's stuff that's just in the way and getting a little bit of lucre in the pocket, double win. And we got to like a double win. Wait, what was in it? Was it Zhivago? So if I change that to be one shot of, actually, maybe the 40 spotted Pinot gin I just got, and a whiskey and sour apple and lime juice and sugars. It's just so much lime juice, though. Oh, God. There's a cocktail called Viagra Falls. See, if you give something a stupid name, you get my attention. Yeah, 3/4 of a shot of absinthe and 1.5 shots of sour apple liqueur. 1 3/4 shots chilled water. Wuss, wuss, wuss. I'd just shake it for a long time. Making it half water. What sort of wuss does that? Safa, is it blue? You're talking about my absinthe, I assume? It's blue. Oh, Nettie, you're watching Sex Education on a Netflix party. Excellent. I still haven't watched that. Sounds good. Enjoy that. And yes, hope to see you tomorrow night for party night. Safi, you're asking, is this thing Viagra Falls blue? Well, this is green because they use green absinthe, but mine would be blue. So it's just maybe I should make that. 3/4 of a shot of absinthe, 1.5 shots of sour apple, and ice, baby, and some orange bitters. Kirsten, you're enjoying Sex Education now? Yeah, Safra, I don't know. Why is Viagra green? I don't know. So, Greg, you've watched season 1 of Sex Education. Recommend it? Maybe I'll try it out with Mrs. Angry because we're actually running out of things to watch. With all the series we've been watching, we've finished. Might watch first episode and see if she's into it. Because there's 3 seasons now of Sex Education? And I mean, I'm pretty keen for it just because it's got Gillian Anderson in it. Okay, I'm going to make this Viagra cocktail because life's too short to not get fucked up on a Thursday. But that's going to be my last alcoholic drink tonight. And then I will just drink water for the rest of the night. So, and what have they recommended? This, they say martini glass, but it's a variant on a martini glass. His review of this drink, of the Viagra Falls: aniseed and apple, sure to get your pecker up. Okay. Oh, I should taste. What I should do is taste my apple, sour apple liqueur, all natural. Tempted to put green food coloring in it, honestly. Right. So I'm going to have a little taste of this. Decide if I should put some citric acid in it. Kirsten, season 1's only 8 episodes. Okay. They probably didn't know if there was ever going to be a season 2. Which reminded me, there was a thing, I think there's 2 seasons of it on why is that saying Facebook? Netflix. I think that think it's based on a comic. It's called The End of the Fucking World. It's British, just sort of angsty teen stuff. And I quite enjoyed it. All right. Quick taste of the sour apple liqueur. Well, it's really nice. It's just very sweet. My God, it's good though. Like, it's really good. It's just very sweet. I'm going to be a wild, crazy adventurer and put a teeny bit of citric acid in it and see what that does to the taste. Just got to get citric acid from the other end of the kitchen. All right. Just put a teeny bit in. Teeny bit of citric acid. I haven't done acid for a while. Drug humor. All right. I'll be very cautious. I'll just do it into a spoon. I think that's probably an appropriate amount. Okay, I foolishly put the stopper back on, and it's very hard to get off one-handed. A little bit of ASMR there with the cork pop. All right, let's put that little bit of citric acid in. And do mixy. Shouldn't be hard to dissolve just that teeny bit of citric acid. Wonder if I should keep this in the fridge. It's still probably 25 to 30% alcohol, because it's 60% vodka, which was 40% alcohol. See if I have improved this or changed it at all, even with that citric acid, because I've never really experimented with adding citric acid to things. I keep reading guides that say to do it, and I never do it. Oh yeah, I think that was a good idea. And I think I'll get brave and put a bit more in. Yeah, no, I think that was a good idea. Okay, a little bit more citric acid. I think that's like probably only a gram of citric acid, if that. Come on, get in there, citric acid. What's it taste like? Yep, that's citric acid, all right. All right. All right, same dealio. Here we go. Let it settle a bit. Shake it like a Polaroid picture. No, I'm singing that particular song. Incidentally, there has never been any point to shaking a Polaroid picture. The Polaroid company have been quite explicit about that it doesn't do anything. But it's a thing people do. All right. I think I'll just leave it at this, no matter what it tastes like, actually. Don't want to fuck it up. I probably could add more. Not going to. God damn, it's nice, though. I don't know if we will be out of luck, if I'll be allowed to have visitors in the house before I finish this off. But it's really good. Luke, how are you doing? I'm doing fine, thank you. Oh man, like this has just got a real genuine apple flavor in it, which is not surprising because it has real apples in it. Nobody It probably depends which Polaroid you have, whether the shaking could damage it. Because I'm old enough to remember the really old Polaroid pictures where when you first pulled them out of the camera, they were still covered and you had to leave them covered for a little bit and then sort of pull this thing off. And because it was all reacting, there was a particular sort of Polaroid that if when it first came out of the camera, if you press down hard on it, like with the tip of a pen, like not with the actual ink part of a pen, but with the tip of, say, a pen that had a lid that had a point on it and sort of drew stuff on it, it would actually affect the chemicals in the photo. So you'd have this interesting personalized photo in the end. Okay, man, this apple liqueur is fucking good. And now I'm going to be wild and crazy and wacky and make the Viagra Falls. Which glasses do I use? This one. I'll use this one. And because I haven't used this glass for a while, I'm just going to rinse it. Because who the fuck knows what kind of bug fell into it in the meantime. I'll even sit it in the freezer while I get everything together. It'll just take me a minute to get everything together. Okay. Not there. Maybe here. Maybe there. Okay. Get my cocktail shaker. Back to saying shake it like a Polaroid picture. A little bit of ice left over here. All right, add some more ice. More ice, more ice. All right. Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay, I'm just making a mess now. Okay. Where's my absinthe? It's hiding in there. Okay. Absinthe me. God knows how long ago I bought this. It lasts forever because it's so strong. If I ever use it, I only use it in really small amounts. So nobody on the subject of photos, use the panorama mode on your phone camera to take 360 photo of your friend's kitchen. Looks kind of trippy. Stood in the middle and turned. That sounds like fun, actually. Yes, only some of that went in the cup. It was a big thing that I was trying to break and it wasn't working. All right. Blue absinthe. Sorry, I'm going to double check those ratios. How much was I meant to put in? 3/4. Okay. That might be more. Oh, it's such a beautiful color. See, this one will be Viagra colored. So again, maybe I should do this for my YouTube channel. And created by Jack Lewins, London, England. There you go. Sour apple. Let's see. Put that on. Where's my strainer? I'll just go over here while I shake it. Fucking ice on the fucking floor. I'm going to fall over. Okay, my shaker is now suitably cold to the point it's very difficult to hold. Ooh, that's right. Unintentional rhyme there. Probably didn't really chill the glass at all, but all's well, all's well. Right. So, a unique feature of the Galaxy. You can view the photos panorama. So it looks like video playback scanning the room. Neat. Ooh, aniseed flavor. Okay, stream that in there. Ooh, look at that. All right. Check it out. Viagra Falls. Oh my God, that's good. Also incredibly dangerous in terms of alcohol content because my absinthe is 80% alcohol. It's good though. All right. Definitely doing this for my cocktail channel at some point. Very, very, very nice. Add that to the favorites. Kirsten, I agree. Looks great. So, Safa, what's this out of 10? That's a good question. It's amazing. It has smoothed out the absinthe so much. And that's a beastly absinthe. 3/4 of an ounce is a lot of that absinthe. That's like an 8. That's really good. It's funny, it's like I can't really taste the apple liqueur in there anymore. But what it's done is just smoothed out the absinthe. Oh, it's just like the oils in the absinthe are coating my mouth. So this sort of licorice oiliness coating my mouth. It's fucking good. It is fucking good. I would. This is one of those things like only drink one of these per night because 2 will put you under the table. Oof, it's great. And I have to admit, rather than the 3/4 of an ounce and 1.5 ounces, I probably did close to a full ounce of the absinthe and 2 ounces of the sour apple. I did actually make sure there was some water in it too. Oof, this is pretty good. A blue drink that's not blue curacao. Oh, Luke, no, this is how much would this be? Standard drinks. This is 1, 2, 3. This is probably 4 standard drinks. This is probably 4 standard drinks in one thing. Certainly, well, this would put anyone. One of these would put anyone over the legal limit. You do have to like licorice because it's still got that aniseed flavor, but it's sweet. This literally tastes like sweet licorice. It's really fucking good. Oh yeah, Justin, we mentioned those anti-Australian lockdown protests in the USA. What a bunch of fuckwits. How right-wing shitheads got fixated on Australia, I'll never know. But it's like, you see these people saying this ridiculous thing about how could they do that? You go, well, because we didn't want a lot of people to die. Like, for instance, this is what I meant to look up earlier. Florida COVID deaths. How many people died in Florida overall? Worldometer. Okay. Florida, which has a population that's on par with Australia, has had 55,625 deaths. More than 3.5 million cases, and the case rate's just fucking going up. It's not stopping, it's going up. So 55,000 I completed something weird. So, okay, Florida, with a roughly similar population, 55,500 deaths. Australia, less than 1,400 deaths. It's going to go up in Australia, but not by that much. So what's our population? Yeah, 25 million. Okay. And Florida population, 21 million. So Florida actually has a lower population than Australia and has had 55,500 COVID deaths. Australia has had less than 1,400. And they go, why are you doing it? Why do you fucking think, you idiot mutant fuck? Could you imagine that? Jesus Christ. Like 54,000 unnecessary deaths. Jesus. And the fact these fucking mutants blather on about it and think they're making a point. They're going, why the lockdowns? Freedom to go. It's that. It's, you know, Florida is your worst case scenario for this fucking bullshit of you shouldn't be locked down. Smaller population than Australia and 50 times the deaths. It's fucking ridiculous. And yes, Chris, you're right, with the Florida government potentially covering up many, many deaths. The Florida government is absolutely untrustworthy. April Diamond, good evening to you. Luke, it would be dangerous to have more than these, more than one of these. I am just drinking water for the rest of the night, unless I weaken and I might have a martini, which would be a bad idea, but I'm like king of bad ideas, quite honestly. I mean, no, I'm just going to drink water. It's an elegant glass too, don't you think? Kind of looks sexy. You get the lushing, and that's because I think of the oils that are in absinthe, because you see, like, that's like a brilliant blue, and when you add it to something it goes cloudy. It's called lushing, which I believe is because of some of the oils that are in absinthe, maybe from the wormwood. It's not the only spirit that does it, but yeah, a lot of them, if you add water or anything, a fairly clear spirit will go quite cloudy. But it's one of the famous effects of absinthe. Dingle Doty, hello. And Justin, have I ever gotten up in the middle of the night because you had difficulty sleeping? Yeah. Less. Thank you, Kirsten. It's the oils coming out of suspension. The water being added to it brings the oils out of suspension and it goes cloudy. Good lushing. Yeah, Justin, waking up in the middle of the night happens less since I've been on a CPAP machine. Every now and then I wake up and I'll just lie there for an hour. And oh, Jesus, I can't go to sleep. I better get up. Mrs. Angry actually has more trouble with that than I do. I think it's a relatively common thing of actually getting up, getting out of bed in the middle of the night because you just can't fucking sleep. Yeah, and I have done it. Not very often, but I have done it. And like I said, really way less often now that I have a CPAP machine. My breathing apparatus. It's a fun thing before bedtime. It's going, okay, any conversations we're going to have before I go to bed? Because once I put this on, I can't talk anymore because I have to keep my mouth shut because you've got the breathing thing under your nose and it's pushing air up here. I sound very funny if I try and talk because there's air pushing the wrong way past my vocal cords. Doesn't quite sound like helium, but it's in that ballpark. So, Kirsten, it's also the fats coming out of suspension. It's called... Oh, okay. So oils coming out of suspension is called lushing. fats coming out of suspension is called flock. There you go. Oh, Justin, no, making a drink to put yourself to sleep is a bad fucking idea. Yes, I've done it. I've definitely done it. Quite a long way in the past. When I split up with my offspring's mother and I was living by myself and really fucking depressed. Again, really fucking bad time to be drinking alcohol when you're depressed. But I would refer to the vodka sleeping tablet. I'd be doing some online chat and drinking till I fucking blacked out, basically. It's a bad idea. Bad idea. All right. See, this is why I like having Kirsten on, understanding all the technical things. Flock mostly happens in the barrel. Fats coming out of suspension. So I guess they filter that off when it goes from barrel to bottle. Sometimes it does collect at the bottom of a bottle. Okay. Yes, and nobody hits the nail on the head. While a drink before sleeping can help you get to sleep, it tends to cause poor quality sleep. But I can understand, man. Sometimes you want to knock yourself out. Speaking from experience, bad fucking idea. It is it's a bad idea on a number of levels. As nobody says, it does create poorer quality sleep, but psychologically, just the thought that I need to have a drink so I can sleep is bad for your psyche. Drinking with high anxiety, yes, also really bad. If you have high anxiety, don't drink for a full week after. That sounds like very, very shrewd thinking on your part. Basically, anything that's messing with your mental or emotional well-being is a great big flashing sign. Maybe don't do anything mood altering here. Don't do alcohol or drugs now, unless it's a prescribed drug that's actually working for you. But yes, the old self-medicating, which the vast majority of the population do at some point, very ill-advised, have very bad outcomes. So try to avoid it. Just try to avoid it because it's not good. It's not good for you. So man, okay. I am fucking sold on this drink, the Viagra Falls. Plus, it's a very funny name. Plus, because I have blue absinthe, it makes sense because the drink's actually blue. Whereas if you make it with green absinthe, it's going to be a weird show. In fact, I'll show you the picture on the website. It's actually a really gross color. Sharing the Chrome tab. That one. So, see, it's actually a really gross color. It's a really scummy green. It's not good at all. So, we don't want to do that. Yeah, not good. Dingle Doty, you learned the hard way. At least you learned. Yes, Kirsten, it's swampy. It looks like swamp water. That should not be called Viagra Falls. That should be called swamp water. Yep, April Diamond, I agree. It's fucking gross. That is a very unappealing color. Mine was pretty. Mine was like a cloudy blue, light blue. Definitely going to make that for my cocktail channel. I think it'd be a crowd pleaser. Strong drink with absinthe. I mean, yeah, there's a whole spectrum. I mean, I think I've seen some people market an absinthe that's only about 40% alcohol, like standard spirit strength. It's like, the fuck is wrong with you? That's not absinthe. That's not absinthe. This is absinthe. Channeling Crocodile Dundee. Yeah, absinthe should be at least like 55% alcohol, like green chartreuse strength, but it should be more. Uh, not necessarily as much as this, 80%. That's a bit extreme. The same people actually make an 85% absinthe, which is black. And talk about swampy. When a black spirit looshes, it makes your drinks look very swampy. So much less visually appealing than the blue. They make a green, which is a 70%, which is actually a good percentage for an absinthe. They make a red, which is 75%, which I have had before because it makes drinks nice and red. And the blue is 80%. And then the black is 85%. Very, very, very dangerous stuff. All right. Probably time for me to drink some water, he said, with his glass. It's still got a big thing of ice in it. Oh, man, I tell you what, my apple liqueur is really good. It's not particularly sour. Maybe I could put more citric acid in it, but it's really appley. It's actually really good. So I'm very happy with it. Very happy with my apple liqueur. So I've got all these things. Now I've got these things I'm definitely making for my channel. I'm going to make a Viagra Falls. Got to make an appletini with this. And some leftover apple vodka. Because what that's actually made with, I got some vodka, chopped up Granny Smith apples. It's called macerating. I think Kirsten will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's called macerating when you put something in a spirit to get the flavor and essence in it. So I chopped up Granny Smith apples, put them in a vodka, and left it for like 5-6 days. Picked up a teeny bit of color from the peel, just very light yellow from the green peel. Picked up a very definite apple flavor. Oh, Kirsten, I've actually recorded it. It is going to be a video on my YouTube channel, and I'll definitely put it on Steve the Bartender. I'll definitely put it on Steve the Bartender when the video's live, which will be 2 weeks, probably in 2 weeks. But it's the whole thing. So yeah, so I macerated some Granny Smith apples in vodka for like 5-6 days. I also made an apple syrup. So it was, again, chopped up Granny Smith apples and covered them in sugar and left that for a day. And the sugar sort of leached all the juice out of the apples and made a syrup, which was very good. And then I also made a lemon lime syrup, which was with lemon lime peel. Cover that with sugar, and that forms a syrup that's very zesty, citrusy. And then, so this is like a 500 ml bottle, and so it's 300 mils of the apple vodka, 100 mils of the apple syrup, 100 mils of the lemon lime syrup, and I put a little bit of extra lime juice in there and a little bit of citric acid to make it a bit more tart. Kirsten, how is the channel going? It's going okay, slow and steady. And I'm still enjoying making things. So I keep going. Lorianda, hello, by the way. You like Granny Smith's? January 26, 1838. Okay, now I have to look that up. Jan 26, 1838. What happened? Just for, oh no, that's wow, that was one of the many massacres First Nations people. Okay. On 26 January 1838, a group of mounted police under instruction of the colonial government led a surprise attack on the camp of Kamilaroi people at Waterloo Creek, northern New South Wales, killing at least 40. 50th anniversary of planting the Union Jack in Sydney Cove. As the massacre took place, a celebratory regatta was held in Sydney. So there you go. That was one of the many massacres of First Nations people in Australia. Actually happened on an Australia Day. Wacky. Oh, sorry, Safa, Laurie Anders on Twitch. Nice. Kirsten, you're going to put the channel on autoplay to run through the ones you haven't seen. I put a lot up there. Yes, Loriander, looking things that happened on given days, you do tend to find some horrible things. Like today's the anniversary of the US invasion of Afghanistan. How many lives did that cost? We don't know. How much money did that cost? We don't know. It just enriched all those fucking arms companies and Halliburton and whatnot. Fucking, ugh. We don't know how many Afghan civilians were killed. Revenge for 9/11. Far more Americans were killed in the Afghanistan invasion than were in 9/11. An uncounted number of Afghan civilians were killed, and of course, a lot of the various insurgent groups, whether it be who was it? It was supposed to be Al Qaeda, but then their various offshoots as well. So, what if the US runs out of money? Money's imaginary, and the US just declares they have more money when they decide they need it. It's what they keep referring to as the debt ceiling. All of international commerce is a consensual hallucination. It's all meaningless and it's imaginary. And if enough people stopped believing in it, the whole thing would come crashing down, which is actually probably almost inevitable. Safa, as I saw it, Sweden stopped Moderna for under 30s. And because they can afford to be overly cautious, because they just go, oh, no, we've got a shit ton of Pfizer. Under 30s, don't take Moderna because there's a tiny risk of a heart inflammation. Take Pfizer, which we think has a lower risk. Spoiled for fucking choice when you can say, oh, don't take that miracle fucking vaccine that has a 1 in a million chance of a complication, but will almost completely protect you from this awful pandemic, because we've got another miracle fucking vaccination you can take instead. Spoiled. So spoiled. To me, the only downside of various governments being overly cautious and saying, you know what, there is a tiny risk of a complication with this one, so we don't want to use it, is all the utter fuckwits use it as fuel to say, see, it's dangerous. It's not. Safa, is heart palpitation same as hiccups? No. Really different. Hiccups is some sort of spasm in your diaphragm. I'm not sure if it's been defined what causes hiccups. A heart palpitation is an actual problem with your heart. Irregular. I don't think heart palpitation is a medical term. I think it's a colloquial term, but I think it refers to like irregularities in your heartbeat. Ian's World, hello, g'day. How's it going, man? How's it going? I'm drinking water because I'm responsible. Also, because I just had a decent whack of my absinthe. And after that, I'm going, maybe don't drink any more alcohol tonight. Just drink some water and sort of ride the roller coaster to Betty buys. Didn't drink that much tonight. Definitely should not be operating heavy machinery. I mean, that's the phase I'm in now. I'm not falling over. I'm not even particularly slurring my words. Although Mrs. Angry laughs, she says she can tell when I've been drinking because I make an extra effort to enunciate my words to try and appear not drunk, which is a dead giveaway that I've had some drinks. Because if I relax, I will start slurring words. So I don't do. Oh, nice, Kirsten! You won an OCAR pack. Excellent. What was in the OCAR pack? Because they make some quality beverages. Ian, you don't want things with no flavor. I drink water to mix up. In fact, I drink more water on these live streams to intersperse with my alcohol. I drink more water on the live streams than I do other. Oh, you got Mando and OCAR Tropic. I have both of those. I should use OCAR Tropic when I next top up my freezer martini. Use it as a vermouth substitute. Oh, and some fizzy wine. Nice. I have to admit, I have a huge fucking soft spot for the sweet vermouth, the Unico Zello Yuzu sweet vermouth. That's a friggin' decadent sweet vermouth. I love it. I mean, I really like the one I've got at the moment is Maiden Eyes sweet vermouth, which is a much more classic sweet vermouth. But the fucking from the people. So what's it? OCAR? It's the Applewood Distillery and the Unico Zello Winery, and it's all the same people. They're all in the same things. And some of the products are called OCAR, and some are called Applewood, and some are called Unico Zello. But their sweet vermouth is fucking. It's so red and it's so rich. You put that in a drink, and your drink goes fucking red. Very tasty too. But I tend to alternate which sweet vermouth I get. Like to buy Australian, get Maiden Eye or Unico Zello. There's probably some other Australian sweet vermouths I try, but those two are both just so good in different ways. Oofed. But yes, also in my favorite cocktail, the Woodson and Ford that has sweet vermouth in it, the Unico Zello sweet vermouth is. Oh, Kirsten, who's got Maiden Eye on special? Because from what I saw, you can't buy it directly off their website. So I'm not actually out of any Maiden Eye, but if it's on special, I'm probably going to get some. Because, like I said, particularly the sweet vermouth, I make so many drinks with sweet vermouth. Nova's on special at Dan's, not great, but $10. I've still got 3/4 of a bottle of Nova. So it's at Dan's, is it? Okay. Now I want to look it up. I'm running down a couple of things. Let me see. Maiden Eye. Maiden Eye online offer. $5 off. Okay, well, 10%. That is better than a poke in the eye with a blunt stick. Ooh. And they're also selling. This is really weird. They're selling the half-size bottles, and they say direct from supplier. So they're not selling the half-size bottles in store, but also Maiden Eye don't sell through their website. That's really weird. $30 for the half-size or $45 for the full size. Okay, that's worth knowing. I mean, $5 off is not a huge special, but it's better than a poke in the eye. Better than a poke in the eye with a blunt stick. As someone I grew up with said that. One of my parents or grandparents. My grandmother my mum's mother had the worst saying. Like, you know how kids will put stuff in their mouth all the time. I think she said it with money. She said like money's, and that's a fair. Coins. Coins are filthy. They're in people's hands. People's hands are filthy. They get dropped on the floor. Coins are filthy. And my grandmother used to say, "Don't put that in your mouth. It could have been behind a Chinaman's ear." And what? Okay. Why do you think that? And why do you think it's particularly dirty behind a Chinaman's ear? I was like, oh my God. So that, I still remember that because that was such a weird saying. Kirsten, I'm with you. Half-size dry vermouth, full-size sweet, because I go through a lot more sweet vermouth. I will be making a lot of Manhattans, Woodson and Fords, and a few fucking New Orleans drinks. Greg, the beer company you work for does that. Yeah, Dan's has a lot of deals with a lot of brewers and distillers, and they say like, okay, I tell you what, we don't think we're going to sell enough of your stuff to actually buy a bunch and stock it on the shelves, but we'll sell it through our website because we get 100 times more traffic to our website than you get to your website. So we'll sell it through our website and pass the orders directly onto you, and we'll take a cut, which means you make less money from each sales, but you're going to get a bunch of orders that you otherwise never would have got. There is a lot of stuff that when you buy online from Dan's, it'll say direct from supplier. And that's that type of deal. They've said to the supplier, look, okay, we want to help you out. We'll sell through the website and take a cut of the sale, but we don't think we'll sell enough of your product to... And there's a few of that. Oh, Kirsten, nice. You've acquired some 50ml bottles of vermouth from work. Bound to come in handy. We have talked about booze a lot tonight, but we do that a lot. We actually do that a lot. Oh dear. I want to get some of those specialty Maiden Eye ones, actually. The Nocturne and the Kina Kina for specialty drinks. And to really miss a boot with variations on martinis. Greg, that's even more so with Aldi? I've never looked at Aldi online, actually. They have weird shit in the shops in terms of alcohol. Okay, special buys. Groceries. Baby freezer health. Liquor. What are they? Okay, now you've got me going. What do they sell online? Whether you prefer beer or wine. Spirits. I'm really only interested in spirits. Man, just like their no-name brand spirits they have. Highland Scotch whiskey, $30. Fuck me. It's probably okay. Quadruple distilled vodka, $30. London style gin, $30. 8-year-old blended Scotch, $37. Bluegrass Kentucky bourbon, $31.50. Jim Beam, $39. Baroque brandy, $30. Irish country. God, some of this stuff's cheap. Bailey's, $30. Captain Morgan, $38. They don't have much. Just those weird house brands of spirits at Aldi, I think, are even weirder than Costco brand stuff. Nice, Kirsten. 50 mils are perfect for your house. Very dry martinis. 50 mils. Jesus, I'd make a couple of martinis with 50 mils, really. I mean, that's like 5 martinis. Very dry, really. How many would that do for you, Kirsten? Because I think you have it even drier than me. But I reckon 50 mils of dry vermouth, I'd probably make at least 4 or 5 martinis with that. Because it's like, yeah, fuck yeah, lot of gin, a little bit of vermouth. You've tried the house gin from Aldi? Very bad. Did I tell you? Wow, okay. That doesn't surprise me. 50 mils is 10 martinis in your house. I think I'd make 5 with it. I bet I would not object to one of your super dry martinis. I bet I wouldn't object to it. I tend to, by default, do a little bit more vermouth in mine than you do. But other people like Mrs. Angry's, we worked out what she likes is 50-50 with sweet vermouth, which I don't mind drinking. It's not my first choice. But since I got this, was it the last weird special thing I got, the Coqui Rosa? It's this slightly bitter aromatized red wine. So it's like a cousin of sweet vermouth. In terms of sweetness, it's like halfway between dry vermouth and sweet vermouth, and it's red, but it's got this bitterness that vermouth doesn't really have, because it's got the stuff that's in tonic water. God, I always make the mistake. Quinine, that's what's in it. It's quinine. I always want to make the mistake of saying it's got quinoa in it, but it's quinine from the cinchona bark. But that's the stuff that's meant to be healthy. That's the stuff that's meant to stop you getting malaria. Quinine. It's medicinal. So when I have a martini with an aromatized wine that has quinine in it, it's medicinal, basically. Oh, so you actually do slightly more vermouth for a Gibson. See, for me, the only difference with a Gibson is the garnish, which is cocktail onions, as opposed to olives or a twist of lemon. Toby on Facebook, hello. You thought you'd jump in on Facebook and say hello. Fair enough. Me and Kirsten just having dry martini talk. But yes, I want to get that specialty one from Maiden Eye, their Kina Kina, the one that's got quinine in it. Also want to get their Nocturne just because it seems really interesting. But also, I just love I love supporting Australian and getting drunk. So Kirsten, no citrus gin for a twist, salty gin for a Gibson. Yes, yeah, the Gibson is a more savoury martini. Use if I was out and ordering a martini, I mean, I'd leave it slightly in their hands. I wouldn't overprescribe what they give me. I'd just say dry martini with a twist of lemon. Oof. So best Gibson gins, Great Ocean Road, or the outside gin from Archie Rose. Yes. So do you mean Great Ocean Road generally, or is it their Navy strength one? And I know Apple would promote the Coral gin as being a salty one, which I had it and I finished the bottle. I didn't really pick up saltiness from that myself. But yeah, it's kind of like I don't know who watched that chess drama on Netflix, The Queen's Gambit, which was quite good. But it came thinking with the central character, her mum drank Gibson martinis. So she decided to drink one. And in one of the scenes, she's on a plane coming back from a tournament, going home, and her mum has died. and she orders a Gibson martini to sort of remember her mum, and they give it to her in a glass like this on a big rock of ice, and they're like giving her this thing in a rocks glass with a big rock of ice, and they're saying that's a Gibson martini, and I'm just going, what the fuck is wrong with you people? What the fuck is wrong with you people? That is not how you serve it. But as I said, that's where my snob comes out. Martinis. But yes. Kirsten, you like salty gins and a Negroni. Yeah, I can make a Negroni, just not use fucking Campari. Ugh. Either do the really wussy thing and swap it for Aperol. But now I've got that Australian Amaro from, what's their name? Autonomy. Yeah, okay. Autonomy's native Australian Amaro. Not as bitter as Campari, but got some pretty serious bitter notes in it. And just better flavors than Campari as well. So, Kirsten, you like the Australian Gibson at Bad Frankie's? Well, you know what's going to friggin' happen if shit is open again, say next year, and you're able to come down here for a visit. You know what we're going to do? Kirsten, yes, that Amaro make a great boulevardier. Nettie's back. How was sex education? I don't even know how long it is. Did you watch 2 episodes or 1 episode? I don't know if it's a half-hour show or a 1-hour show, because I haven't watched it. But now we've been talking about it, I might watch it next week. I might suggest when we're on TV viewing night with Mrs. Angry, let's check out Sex Education and see if we like it. In fact, yeah, I've not used that Amaro so much since I got it. I should definitely make a boulevardier. So I love that, Nettie. Sex education, very colourful and awkward. That sounds like sex education to me. Awkward. I just remember, like in year 6 at a Catholic school, with the terrifying excuse for sex education that I had, and they brought a parent in. So, boys, your dad came, and girls, your mum came. And my dad was a bit of a freaking character. He used to embarrass me a lot, but he was very popular with other adults. But as a kid, it was embarrassing with some. But he was saying something about what was just on there, and then I realized, oh God, I just switched off because it was just so embarrassing watching sex education with my dad. I was not taking anything in. My brain had just shut down. I love that, Greg. Do I get pain when I walk past the Campari bar on Hardware Lane? I know the place of which you speak. I've never gone in there because, yeah, no, that's my... It's not even kryptonite. It's not my weakness. It's my enemy. It's anathema. Oh no, Safi, you had your year 9 sex education cut because of conservative Catholics. They'll do that. Nettie, you reckon that you mean the young guy, the male lead? Is Mr. Bean when he tries to dance, has the same brown suit? Right, so I think I'm definitely going to give it a go next week anyway. See if we like it. Because we were recently... What if we worked our way through on Tuesday night? All of 6 Feet Under, which was like 5 or 6 seasons for a 20-year-old show. And that was pretty good. We watched In Treatment, which is a show about therapy. We just finished season 3 of Britannia, which is great if weird. And a series called Reservation Dogs, which is produced by Taika Waititi. And it centers around teenagers growing up on a Native American reservation. And it's really interesting, and it's the sort of story you don't usually get. It was really good. Safa, do they sell actual hardware in Hardware Lane? I think that's where it got its name, but I'm not sure. No hardware stores on Hardware Lane currently. Lots of cafes and restaurants and bars. Nettie, you love Britannia. I love Britannia. It's pretty good. There's 3 seasons of it now, and it's set when the Ninth Legion of Rome arrives in England. And it's interesting, if you know any of that Roman history, you know how things are going to end up for the Ninth Legion. But it's very interesting what they're doing with the druids and the magic and the whatnot. Chris, saying COVID-19 drug looks like it works as well as vaccines. You hope Millinafuril ends up safe. Yes, you copied and pasted that. I didn't even try and pronounce it. But yes, I saw that. Yes, an actual treatment. How fucking good would that be? Vaccines are great. Treatments are fucking fantastic. The idea that there would be an effective treatment for COVID is friggin' great news. Oh, Christ, Safa. The original English, you need to speak to an historian, because different races have populated the British Isles and then been murdered by various invaders. The oldest one that I know is the Picts. And, you know, the Celts were in the north. The Normans were French invaders. The Saxons were, I think, Norse invaders. Someone can correct me on that. And you say Anglo-Saxon, that's the Angles. Yeah, you need to speak to an historian, because I don't know that well. Just know there's been lots of racial, ethnic, tribal groups in the British Isles that have, at various points over the last couple of thousand years, been occupied and even wiped out by an invading group. Yeah, you get Norman, you get Picts, Saxons, Celts, Normans. Safa, the Saxony is in France, but I thought there was some Nordic thing in there. Abigail saying the Britons were the original English, invaded by the Angles and the Saxons. There you go. Oh, and Greg, there was once a McEwen's Hardware across the road from Hardware Lane. Oh, yeah. That was in Burke Street, wasn't it? It was a reasonably big McEwen's Hardware in Burke Street, opposite Hardware Lane. So Abigail saying the Normans invaded after the Saxons won the Battle of Hastings. Yeah, the Normans were the last invaders, I think. But yeah, so you had the Britons and the Picts and the Saxons and the Angles and the Normans and the Celts in various parts of the British Isles. It's a complicated history. Raiders, you know what we're talking about. Became a Bunnings, became an Officeworks, and I think it's being redeveloped now. Actually, I don't think it's anything. I think it's being redeveloped. Christ, I haven't been in the city centre for a long time. That was weird. I've been in the city. I had a dentist appointment a couple of weeks ago, but I didn't really go down Burke Street. I'm allowed to go there now because it's within 15 kilometres. I might go there. So running out of stuff. I need to go to my favourite bottle shop, the Wig Cellar, and get more of this French apple liqueur Le Bleu, because I really like it and use it a lot, and I'm almost out. The first bottle of that I had lasted over a year. I think this second bottle has lasted less than 6 months. I'm using it way more now than I used to. It's not like I knock it off in a weekend, though. Raiders. Your stepfather worked on the 8th floor of what was the state bank head office. Nice. So, Greg, you're saying that's a big office building now. I thought they were doing some redevelopment on it. Safa, is Melbourne CBD easy compared to Sydney CBD? Well, see, Melbourne CBD is a grid. Sydney CBD is a bunch of fucking wandering goat tracks that they covered over with fucking roadworks at some point. So Sydney CBD is fucked all over the shop. Melbourne CBD is a grid. So, yes, the Melbourne CBD, much easier to navigate than the... Geez, Safa, why did you write yawn? Now I'm going to yawn. Ugh. It's that late at night. Oof. I think I might have a Nurofen before I go to bed. It's at 9:52. Okay, yeah, I'm going to have a little bit of water and a Nurofen before I go to bed, I think. Radio saying the Commonwealth Bank HQ is right near Hardware. Yes, that Commonwealth, that's the corner of Burke and... Is that Elizabeth? It's Elizabeth, isn't it? It's the corner of Burke and Elizabeth. Yeah. And ANZ's the corner of Collins and Queen. Was the State Bank. Yeah, State Bank doesn't exist anymore. And Nettie, yes, we are hanging shit on Sydney. Oh, just the roads are fucked in Sydney. Roads are less fucked in Melbourne. And yes, Greg, that's the funny thing. If you look at a map of Melbourne, the CBD grid is twisted on an angle. All the streets around it, there's just this... they could have just done a square that fit in with everything else, but they went, yeah, you know what? We'll just kink it a bit. Raiders, is the Melbourne grid named after Hoddle, or are you dreaming? I don't know. I do not know the answer to that. I know we have a Hoddle Street, which is not on the grid. It's outside the grid. Oh, God, no, I'm going to stop yawning. Oh, excuse me. It's bedtime. Yeah, I have no idea about, is the grid named the Hoddle grid? I just don't know. I think the most fun thing about the Melbourne CBD at the moment is the Collins Street Peregrine Falcon. Someone set up this nesting box for a Peregrine Falcon on the ledge of the window of an office block in Collins Street. And the Falcon comes back each year and nests. And these people have set up a webcam. It's like a 24-hour webcam. You can watch the Collins Street Peregrine Falcon. It's got 4 chicks at the moment. Super cute. They're just these funny little fuzzballs that when the mother is off murdering a pigeon to feed them, the little fuzzballs just sit there going peep, 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 peep. It's very cute. It's very cute. Melbourne's obsessed with the Collins Street Peregrine Falcon. Yes, Kirsten, that's how you remember the streets that go along there. It's King, William, Queen, Elizabeth. So you're the ones in that direction is sorry, oh Christ, I can't stop yawning. Nettie's saying there's only 2 real streets in Sydney CBD, George Street and Oxford Street. I always said George Street and Pitt Street. I don't regard Oxford Street as the CBD. That's a suburb. By the time you're in Oxford Street, you're in like Darlinghurst. I regard Oxford Street as a suburb, not the CBD. I just thought the CBD was Pitt Street and George Street. Barely remember any other street names from the CBD of Sydney. But that's a good call. You talk about how far you are in relation to George Street and Oxford Street to orient yourself. That's a pretty good call. I remember when I moved to Melbourne, I'd lived in Sydney 10 years. A friend of mine who actually grew up, one of the very few people I know who was born and grew up in Sydney. He grew up on the northern beaches. and he moved to Melbourne a couple of years before I did. And I told him I was moving to Melbourne. He said, "Oh, you'll love it. It's so easy to get around. There's only 4 roads and they're dead straight." He was right. I like that, Nettie. Friday nights, Oxford Street is city. Yeah, you can walk there, certainly. Christ, can't stop yawning. Oh, I have to go to bed. Okay, look, it's only 9:56, but it's just embarrassing that I keep yawning. Oh, shit, Nettie, full of Southern comfort and Coke. What an unappealing state to be in. Oh, dear. Safi says Kylie's moving back to Oz. Well, good on Kylie. Good on her. She's a little trooper. I'm going to say good night to everyone because I can't stop yawning. And it's just embarrassing to stay here and keep yawning. And it's almost bedtime. I need to drink some water and have a Nurofen before bed. My head feels a bit funny. I haven't drunk near enough to have a hangover or a headache, but I'm just going to head something off by having Nurofen. So good night, everyone. If you're around tomorrow, party night. Why not indeed? Party, party, party. Make lots of drinks. I've already got an idea of a few I'm going to make tomorrow night. We'll see. Oh, God, see how we want to again. Oh, terrible, terrible stuff. All right. Good night. Yes, suffer some yawning ASMR. But I'll leave it there with the yawning ASMR. And if you're around tomorrow night, I'll